Thank you so much, Ewan. Well, with so much happening over the weekend on the sporting front, we thought we'd unpack some of those results, get into the nitty-gritty, and I think the biggest result from a South African perspective, undoubtedly, the Super Rugby challenge that is being mounted by the Lions. We knew that they were going to be very tough to beat at home. Everything has worked out for Johan Ackerman, despite the fact that he looks like the coolest guy, just the nicest players coach on top of everything else, and modest. The way that they played, the fact that they were able to unpick one of the tightest defences in the game. The Highlanders have had not a point scored against them, certainly from a try perspective in the last two games building up to this. The Lions made them look mundane.
I think the favourite thing for me from that game was that the Lions didn't change anything. They went into that game like it was any other game on any other weekend, and they just absolutely dispatched the defending champions. I mean, it was an amazing performance from the Lions. The variety that they showed on attack, that rush defence that they've been doing all season, and all of the guys that have been putting up their hands for Springbok selection the entire season really pulled it through for the Lions. Elton Jantjies, Faf de Klerk, Janse van Rensburg,
you found me one player on that field
Brilliant.
that didn't put their hand up, actually.
I can't think of any Lions players that shouldn't be in that in-Bok contention for the Rugby Championship. They were absolutely sensational this weekend.
And a couple of players also standing up with some individual brilliance, but you need a balance of that. And I think we saw a similar sort of performance from the Hurricanes as well, coming up against the Chiefs. Again, that rush defence, kind of forming the platform, but brilliant individual performances there as well.
And I just hope that Ackerman's decision to rest all of those players in Argentina, where the Lions went down, and now the Lions have to travel to New Zealand to play the Hurricanes in their backyard. I really hope that decision pays off. So we have to play the Hurricanes in Wellington now, and we had that. It gave the Lions Stars a week of rest. I just hope that that decision is justified in Wellington, and that they can pick themselves up and defeat a really strong Hurricanes team in their backyard. It should be a great game to watch.
Let's see if they travel as well as they play at home. Love that. Then, of course, early season jitters maybe for Orlando Pirates when we turn to football, with Kaizer Chiefs getting the nice early bragging rights and playing a free-scoring brand of football as well, which we love.
It seems like all of the sporting action this weekend was happening in Gauteng. 100,000 packed out that FNB stadium. It was a fantastic game. And Chiefs just dominated from start to finish. They opened the scoring in the 30th minute from Matoho, who's one of South Africa's best defenders. And then the debutant, what was his name now? Macha scored in extra time, and it was a really great game. And I think even though it is a pre-season game, it's definitely going to give Chiefs that mental edge going into the PSL season. So big congratulations to Chiefs.
And you've got to love the fact that the fans drive that process as well. Really
absolutely.
Do love it.
I mean, 100,000 fans for one game. It's pretty sensational.
And then finally, we've got to say maybe Rosberg dropping off the race pace at this stage, finishing fourth at his home Grand Prix.
Yeah, it was a very disappointing performance from Rosberg on his home turf, in front of that German crowd. He started on pole and then he only finished in fourth place. And Lewis Hamilton just continues to move up the ladder. At one point, he was 43 points behind Rosberg, and now he's leading the Formula One Championship going into, I think they've got a 2 or 3 month break now. So I think Hamilton definitely has that mental edge going into the second half of that Formula One season, and he just looks more hungry and determined than Rosberg does.
He's going to be rubbing for that entire 3 month period. He's going to be rubbing it in.
I can imagine.
Going to be rubbing it in. Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, man, for keeping an eye on what has been going on across the globe. Of course, a bumper sporting weekend.